Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we are going to talk about about Dungeons & Dragons being, in my humble opinion, the first triple beam Millennium world Strander. Okay? Now, we're going to define that term, but the reality is people just don't understand Dungeons & Dragons. And this is not me just saying this. We are seeing this every single day on YouTube. Somebody is like, I don't get why Wizards of the Coast is doing this. And I'm like, yeah, you don't, because you literally don't understand what Dungeons & Dragons is. The biggest one right now is Rudy over on Alpha Investments. He's pulling his hair out because he does not understand what's happening in the Magic the Gathering. And the reason why is he does not understand how powerful the connection between Dungeons & Dragons is and Magic the Gathering is. And so like Rudy over at Alpha Investments, this guy buys cases, like of, not boxes, cases filled with boxes filled with booster packs. He has positions in Magic the Gathering. This is not an exaggeration, he has millions of dollars invested in Magic the Gathering, and he doesn't understand that the moment Plane Shift Dominaria was created, it changed every single day of the future of Magic the Gathering. It changed every single day of the future of Dungeons & Dragons. It changed every single day of the future of every product that has ever rubbed its face against Magic the Gathering. It changed the lives. It changed the employment. It changed the narrative. Literally, there are billions of dollars on the line here, right? And people just don't, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters, right? And I'm the only person who sees it, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong, right? And the reality is, I watched the dude the other day, and I couldn't believe, I was like, how do you not understand this? Some OSR dude, and, and he's like, hey, I got my Wizards of the Coast, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle characters, Whiz Kids miniatures, and it's got, Presto the Magician, and it's got Eric the Cavalier, but they don't match the characters that are in the box, the character sheets in the box. And I'm like, not only did you not understand that Wizards of the Coast is saying something that's different about what's in that box, I'm saying something different about what's in that box, and you don't have any idea what's in that box, right? Dungeons & Dragons is outrageously complicated at this point, and people every day are saying, I don't understand what's happening with Dungeons & Dragons. And the reason why is you don't understand what it is, right? And this is like somebody, who finds a raccoon and has no concept of what a raccoon is, right? And is like, why can't I spread this on my bagel? And you're like, it's not cheese, it's a raccoon. Like, you are confused because you don't fundamentally know what the thing you're dealing with is, right? And that's where we are. It's just simply where we are, okay? But what I want to explain today is I want to take 1 minute to acknowledge what has happened on Dungeons & Dragons. Something has happened on Dungeons & Dragons that has never, ever, ever happened in the history of humanity, right? What is Dungeons & Dragons? It is many things. I'm just going to list a few. It is a story engine. It has made stories since 1974. And those stories are the most valuable stories ever created that are secular. Okay? You can burn every Shakespeare, I would burn every word Shakespeare ever wrote before I would get rid. If I could save one story told at one Dungeons & Dragons story told at one table to 4 people from one dungeon master, from one genuine dungeon master with 4 engaged players. The value of a single Dungeons & Dragons tale told from one genuine engaged dungeon master to 4 engaged Dungeons & Dragons players, I would burn every word that Shakespeare ever wrote before I would lose that one single story. That's the value now, okay? And so Dungeons & Dragons is a story engine, right? It is a narrative engine, right? And never before in the history of humanity have we had a triple beam world stranding done to a story engine, right? People have been slapping IPs on merch forever, and it didn't matter because the merch did not matter. It did not have value the way Dungeons & Dragons has value. If you attach a product to Dungeons & Dragons, Dungeon Masters will tell stories with the product you attached to Dungeons & Dragons. It's natural. It's what we've done since 1974. Okay? And any company who said they didn't know, I totally understand you didn't know, because you hired a bunch of number wonks from Harvard and Yale, and they don't know jack crap about narrative, lore, fantasy, or Dungeons & Dragons. They did not know what they were attaching to. But you put the gold in the box. Funko Pop, every world they make is now connected to Dungeons & Dragons, and Dungeon Masters will logically use it. They will use that world strand to build stories across every single Funko Pop world. Lego, okay? There is a world strand now that goes from Dungeons & Dragons to there are world strands that go from Dungeons & Dragons to every single world that has ever been created in Lego. And every Dungeon Master worth their salt will use what was given in the box, right? And then last, Magic the Gathering, right? And this one is big because it connects to Fortnite, and Fortnite has 1,000 worlds under it, okay? And so the reality is, Dungeons & Dragons carefully connected itself to Magic the Gathering, and there is world strands going from every single Magic the Gathering world directly to Dungeons & Dragons, right? And any Dungeon Master worth their salt, which can see what was put in the box, right, is going to connect those worlds. And this has never been done on any product in the world. And the only reason it was done was the suits on both sides had no idea what they were doing. The question is, if you as a Dungeon Master understand the gold bullion that was put into every D&D Essentials box, I get it. I'm asking you to open your eyes and get it. And do not throw the box out after you take out what you were told you received. Make sure you understand all the value that was in the Essentials box, because that value has never been established on any product in the world. Dungeons & Dragons is the most expansive intellectual property in the world now, because of its triple beam world stranding that has been done from Funko Pop, from Lego, and from Magic the Gathering. All that's my humble opinion. I'm eager to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.